have no in-flight movies today and no in-flight entertainment apart from Amir. The thought of having the flag of Imam Hussian al-Islam, I could not fail that. Shukr alhamdulillah. Shukr alhamdulillah.
Pira vichu pir sona pir mera khebari panj nare panj tani savalak nare hadari.
May this flag fly high until the day of judgment and be a symbol of peace and love for all of humanity. Welcome to this amazing journey to the rooftop of the world, where we are going to take the flag of Hussein ibn Ali and raise it high on the legendary but notorious Mount Everest. My name is Sajjad Shia. I'm from Luton. I've always wanted to take part in helping orphans and children in particular, the most needy, who have been impacted by conflict or natural disaster. And one of the reasons why I also wanted to do this is to bring about the attention of the world to the true message of Karbala that Hussein ibn Ali gave in Karbala 1400 years ago, to reach out to the most needy, to reach out to the most vulnerable. So we put all of these ideas out on the table, and some of them were sailing around the world, ballooning around the world, jumping out of a vehicle from space, going to the deepest point in the ocean, the Mariana Trench, and we thought, let's see what is the most cost-effective and see how we can plan these events. Eventually we realized that some of them were just way too dangerous, or way too expensive, or would take a huge amount of time. Until the idea came about Mount Everest, and everyone knows, or a lot of people know about Mount Everest, how dangerous it is. And then we discovered that apparently 3,000 people have died on Mount Everest. But you know, we thought, well, why not bring that to the forefront? None of our team members had any mountaineering experience prior to going to Mount Everest. Nothing of the level and height of Mount Everest. But Mount Snowdon, 1,000 meters high. We had about 3 sessions on Mount Snowdon, but nothing at the level of Mount Everest. Before we started this journey and we'd made this decision to go, my fitness levels were terrible. I was 130 kg, I was very heavy. Going up a flight of stairs would make me breathless. My doctor had told me that I was border level diabetes, and my cardio training and everything told me that I needed to do a hell of a lot of training. My friends and family thought that I could never do this trek because of my fitness levels at the beginning of this journey. To be honest, looking back now, I would have said the same thing to anybody at my fitness level.
So the team preparation has been going well. However, with every team, there's people of different abilities. Fortunately, my weight's lower, my fitness is pretty good, as well as some of the other guys. Brother Armour, he's very fit as well. We've got Brother Sajjad, who's leading the fundraising campaign, and this man is 45, doesn't look it, and he's about 130 kgs. Now, the challenge really is for people like that. Not saying he doesn't have the ability, but they have different forces that will affect them. And you see the real drive and determination with people like him. The intention that we made to climb the legendary but notorious Mount Everest
was for several reasons. One, the centre that we was building needed desperate funds, and also to raise awareness around the globe about the message of Karbala that was delivered 1400 years ago on the plains of Karbala. We wanted to raise the flag of Hussein ibn Ali at one of the highest peaks in the world to get the world's attention, or do something that would get the world's attention for these both causes. My family's initial reaction was absolutely shocked. They was shocked, shell-shocked, and they were saying, "No way, you're joking. This is, you know, you're pulling our leg. This is not happening. No way you're going to do this." Base layers, I think we'll take about 5 or 6 base layers just in case. 5 base layers, especially if we're not going to have any showers there.
Crampons as well.
Crampons, and some of them are really expensive. I've been looking on the internet to see what we can get, and I think the cheapest one at this shop we're going to go on the weekend. I'm just calling you to just let you know that we're going to be coming on the weekend to purchase the equipment that we need for our trekking to Everest. So I'm on my way to Decathlon, which is a sport gear shop. Ali Askari, who's one of our trekkers, is going to meet me there. We're going to ask the shop to recommend some trekking gear, because they specialize in trekking equipment, and we've also experienced some conditions on Mount Snowdon where we was hit by a rain storm, and all of our equipment got soaked. The clothes didn't resist the water, and we was completely soaked to the bone. For 3 hours we trekked in this freezing downpour, by the way, which was a mixture of snow and sleet and rain. And by the time we got to the bottom, we was completely soaked, including our trekking boots, right down to our base layers. So we definitely need to make sure we buy some quality equipment and gear. And I think this shop, I've been checking online as well, and they've got the required equipment.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalam.
Hi, brother.
Not bad, how are you?
Good. Have you bought stuff?
No, I'm just having a look. I think I'm going to need a bigger sleeping bag.
You're definitely going to need a bigger tent for all your stuff.
Anyway, let's have a look at some backpacks and jackets and stuff.
Have you spoken to anyone?
We can get some help. Excuse me.
Hi, can I help?
Could you do us a favour and show us some trekking jackets for mountaineers?
Yeah, they're just round here. So these are the warmest jackets in our shop, and they're all waterproof as well, even with the zips.
Okay, and was it just one jacket, or is it like a base layer?
There are multiple layers in them. They are detachable as well, so it's like a warm layer there, and then the fully waterproof layer is the coat.
And do you have any waterproof trousers with these?
Yeah, we do. They're just round here. So here are the waterproof trousers. They're designed as an over trouser, so you wear them over your normal trousers that you're wearing while trekking.
Can you recommend anything else that we might need for trekking?
Yeah, so we've got some walking poles that will come in really handy. They're just round here.
Oh, walking sticks, I think that's a great idea for me, especially at my age. So I'm going to need one that can take 20 kg and one that can take up to 7 kg and got to be waterproof as well. There were times where, when we were during training sessions, we thought, can we really put ourselves through this pain to do this for a noble cause? And we kept thinking of those children, the homeless and hungry, and to put a smile on the faces of children and orphans and the most needy, which kept driving us on.
Well, you can see the struggles when they're going up the mountain, especially when they're coming down after trekking for 8 hours. However, when you see in their eyes what is driving them, again, it's Imam Hussian. What was the reason? It's for them not only to raise a flag of Imam Hussian, but what we can do to help people in his name, okay? So we know whether it's to feed the hungry and the homeless, or create a community centre where all people are welcome and it's inclusive and actually give a good image of Islam. So when you ask them, when you speak to them, it's that drive for Imam Hussian which is taking them on.
My family really thought I was really crazy for doing this, and some of them had a lot of faith in me and some of them didn't. Even to this day, many people don't believe that we made this journey to the rooftop of the world. But alhamdulillah, with the flag of Hussein ibn Ali with us, that had travelled through several journeys, through several challenges, like the marathon here in Luton, the walk from Najaf to Karbala, the climb to Mount Snowdon, through the 3 peaks of Yorkshire Dales, and then eventually with us to the rooftop of the world, which was an absolutely incredible journey. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, here we go. I think I'm going to stop filming here because it's quite windy and I might need to grab the sides. One of the most difficult things for us to do on Everest was to keep our taharat for prayer time because of the lack of water. We would get up at Fajr, the Sherpas and the porters would see us committed in this fashion, and towards the end of our journey, the last few days, they joined us in prayer at Fajr, which was an amazing feeling that through our actions that these Sherpas who may not have seen people pray before actually joined us, which helped us to deliver the message of Ahlul Bayt al-Islam after prayer to them and make them understand why we're doing this journey. Many of the other professional climbers who we were trekking with at the time, because there were other expeditions on Everest, asked us many questions about who is Hussein? What does this flag represent? Why are you doing this? Why are you risking your life for this? You're not professional climbers. You know, they had trained for approximately a year. They'd done 5 peaks of the world, and they was asking us, how many peaks have you done? And when we told them just Mount Snowdon and the 3 peaks, they would laugh at us. But at the same time would say, you are amazingly courageous people and you're doing this for this cause, in remembrance of this personality who did this 1400 years ago. And that helped us to talk more about the Ahlul Bayt al-Islam and the Holy Prophet and the true form of Islam, which gave them an insight and a counter to the propaganda that's going on in the world against Islam. One of the key elements of this journey to the rooftop of the world was to take the flag of Hussein ibn Ali to the highest peak in the world. And there were several motives behind that. One of them was to highlight to the world about the meaning of this flag, what it stands for: peace, justice, and love for all, no matter what race, religion, background, or gender you are from. That's one thing. Two, to bring people's attention to the house of the Ahlul Bayt al-Islam, to make them understand that these people, these great personalities, were put on this earth to help guide mankind to the right path and the true meaning of humanity, and reaching out to the most vulnerable, especially those children who have been impacted by conflict and natural disaster.
The flag of Imam Hussian represents many things: truth, justice, peace, but also it represents the highest moral standards set by Rasulullah. And that's what we wanted to portray and let people know. See, right now flags of hatred are being flown across the world and they're being touted in the media, and this is the flag which we want to show everyone and show them what really the true face of Islam is through the flag of Imam Hussian.
As we got closer to our destination and our Sherpa guide pointed that that's our destination, we became very, very emotional at that time, because there were points in the journey that some of us felt like giving up. But when the words were said that you are now only 200 meters away from your final destination, there was tears in our eyes, and we looked to the flag of Imam Hussian al-Islam and said, only a few more steps. Ya Allah, help us to reach our final destination. It's only 200 meters away. And with tears in our eyes, we continued. To be honest, I don't know how I did this. There was many a time throughout this journey that I felt like giving up. But Amr pushed me and many of the team members. And the thought of having the flag of Imam Hussian al-Islam, I could not fail that. And alhamdulillah, we have done it. Shukr alhamdulillah. Shukr alhamdulillah. Shukr alhamdulillah. The flag of Imam Hussian al-Islam has reached the rooftop of the world, alhamdulillah. All in aid of raising funds for the most vulnerable. May this flag fly high until the day of judgment and be a symbol of peace and love for all of humanity, and be a reminder of the sacrifice made on the plains of Karbala 1400 years ago, that you must stand against tyranny and oppression and must stand against all forms of terrorism, and do not let it overcome any peace movement that you may have in your own respective communities. May this flag live long, and the name, inshallah, in our hearts and minds forever and ever. When we reached our destination, we took out the flag of Hussein ibn Ali, and as the team raised it high, I fell to my knees and raised my hands high and did a prayer, and remembered Imam Hussian al-Islam, how he sacrificed himself and his family on the plains of Karbala, and praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the energy and strength to reach to this destination. وتمتعه فيها طويلة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Thank you for allowing us to achieve this major milestone. Thank you for giving the strength to all who have joined this journey. Every single one of them have struggled and soldiered on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfill their neck hajat, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate their marhumin, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the will and strength to keep going, to help those who are most vulnerable in the world, and the true message of Karbala for all of humanity to reach out and love each other and live in peace and harmony, no matter what religion, race, color, gender you may be from. And that is the true message of Karbala. And we remembered Pak Sayyidah Fatima Salamullah Alayha, and we did the Zadari in such a passionate way, on such a height on the legendary but notorious Mount Everest, where I believe that this hasn't been done before. And we reached out to the Ahlul Bayt al-Islam and thanked them for helping us and guiding us and motivating us to do this amazing journey to the rooftop of the world. Mawla Haq Imam Ya Hassan Ya Hussein, Mawla Haq Imam Ya Hassan Ya Hussein.
السلام عليك يا مولا وابن مولا، السلام عليك يا قريب القرباء، السلطان بن حسن علي بن موسى الرضا ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليك يا صاحب الزمان.
This is the flag of Hussein ibn Ali, the flag that we took to the legendary but notorious Mount Everest in aid of raising funds for the most needy, for children who have been impacted by conflict and natural disaster. There are other people who raise flags around the world with Arabic writing on it, but we would like to tell the world that that flag does not represent the true face of Islam. We would like to tell people about the true flag of Islam, the flag that I show here, the flag of Hussein ibn Ali, that represents peace, justice and love for all, no matter what race, religion, background or gender you may be from.